comment on
Hey.
the. Go on. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, no. Welcome to the Redeye stream number 243. It's the first open mic night of 2019. Let's not have any drama. You know who you are. Stay the fuck away, or we're getting out the bug spray and zapping you little cockroaches. Get the fuck on out of here. Anyway, there's another cockroach I want to talk about right off the bat here. MC is joining me for now. Tema should be around, and we'll see which one of you wonderful viewers end up jumping into this shit show. But let's bitch about Mitt Romney, shall we, MC? Even Rand Paul called this motherfucker out. And Rand Paul's not the biggest Trump supporter in the goddamn universe, all right?
No, he's not. And the whole thing is a good old Mittens, and I'm going to call him Mittens. I did see it on a tweet that somebody called him Mittens, and I kind of like that. I think it fits him well. All right, Mittens is a problem. Hey, Atema.
Hey.
Mittens is trying to stake out his middle ground position. He's staking out his view that he's going to be the new John McCain.
Oh, he was putting up his shiny neocon corporatist for sale sign. This was his virtue signaling for sale sign.
Something just clicked. Mitt Romney's from Massachusetts. Do we know another centrist from Massachusetts? Oh.
Yes, but he's not. No, Memes is good boy. Memes is best boy compared.
I don't think Memes moved to Utah.
Well, and Memes doesn't have magic underwear that apparently. What mean, dude? The president isn't acting very presidential because I know so much about being presidential after losing.
Twice.
Yeah, thank you, Mitt, for reminding me why I left the top of the ballot blank in 2012.
Well, you should have wrote in Ron Paul. That's neither here nor there. I'm just saying, how do we know Memes doesn't have magic underwear? Has anybody asked him?
Well,
hey,
if Memes has magic underwear, they aren't sending him to another planet. He's going to rule. I can assure you this.
Memes is too young to run for too young to run for president.
Real quick,
what?
Real quick, I want to say how wonderful that always works out. Like I say, Cabby, and Cabby jumps in. I say Memes. Here's Memes. Hey, Memes. Do you have magic underwear like your ex-governor, good old Mittens? Good old Mittens Romney.
Well, he didn't leave me any mittens. Did he leave me magic underwear? Not really. I mean, I have some Under Armour, I think, briefs or something, but I wouldn't necessarily say they're magic. They occasionally.
Were you going to just say underoos?
Wait, what?
Were you going to say underoos?
No,
he was going for underoos. He was.
Hey, boys, how's it going, man?
Oh dear. Wait, so what the hell is going on?
Oh, you didn't hear about Mittens' commentary about Trump?
He's very divisive. That's not necessarily an untrue statement.
No. It was worse than that. It was, I'm going to virtue signal in my very elitist, corporatist, neocon way about dignity and how American presidents are supposed to act after I've lost 2 presidential candidates or candidacies and attempts. Really, I'm special and I'm for sale. Aren't I lovely with my black helmet head?
Well, if you're speaking of former Governor Mitt Romney, who, if you looked up President of the United States and you just had a generic photo, you would assume it would be Mitt Romney.
What? No, I wouldn't.
No.
Have you seen pictures of the President of the United States?
I have. I understand. I'm going by the modern mimetic.
Show me
from Hollywood.
Even the modern mimetic, if you want to look at it from that standpoint. The American presidents do not look like, they just look like everybody else. In fact, most of them, all right, are pretty much not very photogenic per se. They have distinct characteristics generally, but photogenic, there's very few that you could say were photogenic.
You know what president I really don't like and that everybody seems to love? Teddy Roosevelt. Sorry, not a big fan.
No, I'm not a big fan. He's the man that coined the term progressive.
He did.
And he's my 12th husband 14 times removed, but I don't care. He's funny looking, and he made bad ideas, and he took everybody's gold.
Did he give us the gold?
No, he nationally. He sequestered basically a bunch of gold certificates people had stored at Fort Knox and used them to convert to gold without their permission to pay off the debt from World War II.
Wrong person.
Was that him? No, he was the one that started the idea.
No, Teddy Roosevelt.
Teddy
Oh
Roosevelt.
no, I'm thinking of FDR. You're right.
Yeah,
I'm thinking of
yeah.
FDR. My bad. Wrong Roosevelt.
Mispresidented him.
Wrong cousin. Wrong cousin. My bad.
This is why I don't like Teddy. One, he was very I don't know. He wanted to build an American empire pretty much. So he was very imperialistic. And also he went and he wrote the very first National Parks Act, and he stole like 80% in Nevada alone. So, I mean, there's a few reasons why I don't like old Teddy boy.
I was just thinking because they had idolized him in the Night at the Museum movies, and really, he was the least effective president of that era. But okay.
Actually, he wasn't ineffective. He did.
You know, he could steal land like a motherfucker. He was great at it.
Well, yeah, the New Deal was so great.
He wasn't part of the New Deal.
No, he's the one that fostered the idea, though. That's where the idea came from.
No. He
really?
what he did. No, Teddy Roosevelt was the one who his big claim to fame as president are two things. Well, three things actually. First thing is that he was the one who decided he was going to create the monopoly laws to bust monopolies. Specifically, he went after Standard Oil.
But only Standard Oil.
Well, right, because the other monopolies started falling apart before he could ever get a chance to go after them. The second thing that he did is he built the Panama Canal. It's
okay else that was really big and really bad. And why am I forgetting it and getting it confused with the other Roosevelt?
because they are related directly.
And they actually didn't like each other that much, from what I hear.
That's why I hate myself so much.
Because Teddy didn't like the fact that he didn't like any of the New Yorkers, really. Teddy was a self-made man. He really was. He had problems. I'm not going to deny that. And you are right, Mad Dodge, when you talk about the National Parks Act. Okay.
Yeah, which I'm very opposed to, and I live on the West Coast. That'd be why I'm opposed to it. Like,
the other thing that he's known for, right, is sailing the White Fleet, where he was said that he wanted to show off American firepower to the world. Congress said, "We're not going to give you the money in the budget to do it." He ordered the White Fleet to sail, and he said, "I can pay for half of it. If you want it back, you'll pay for the rest of it." So those are the big three things as president he's known for. One of the other things that he isn't well known for is the fact that he got the Nobel Peace Prize for brokering the peace between Russia and Japan.
What I do like is the whole Rough Riders aspect. You know, he was one of the last real, true cavalrymen left in America. That's kind of cool, but I don't like him politically.
In many ways, though, he also became president. You got to remember, he became president because McKinley, who was president at the time, got shot. And so he took office as a very young man. Nick, go ahead. You gonna say something, Memes?
Oh no, I'm just imagining MD releasing a video on his channel about Roosevelt just to Rough Riders, be like, "Rough Riders!" Just doing a little mashup of Teddy.
Oh, Memes. I wish I could just freaking peer into your brain every once in a while. And then I realized, well, it'd be your brain. I better not go into that madness. Moving on.
A lot of frosting.
If you want to see what Memes' brain is like, all you have to do is look at freaking bread dough before it's cooked.
Oh, ouch. Okay, all right. But no, Teddy Roosevelt, not a big fan. But let's get back to Mitt Romney. What did he say about our glorious overlord that is President Trump?
President Trump's an overlord now?
That's right. Yeah. Well, that's what the Democrats want us to think, right? He's the worst thing since Caesar, man. He's a tyrant. He's killing the republic,
he's also
right?
a Nazi, a racist, a bigot.
Well, he's a Republican. That goes hand in hand, doesn't it?
Well, apparently half of his supporters are those things too, according to some folks.
Let's see what Romney said. POTUS's attack obstructed by the mainstream media. I'm trying to figure out what he said because I'm just reading. I'm just the what I pulled up was his Mitt's niece is the chairwoman of the Republican National Committee, and she went after freaking Mitt Romney.
Oh, no, that's sad. Now we got a family feud going on. Aw,
Is it really that surprising? No, here's the thing. What is Mitt Romney? Isn't Mitt Romney like a gentleman who happens to be a Mormon who happened to marry his high school sweetheart? Like, if you're literally going out of the traditional, like, Americana, like, very high moral, it's like, I tip my hat to you, my dear, and oh, how dare you use that language? It's like Mitt is one of those guys. If somebody's gonna say it, it doesn't surprise me. It's Mitt Romney.
okay.
Mitt Romney said that Trump has not risen to the mantle of the presidency.
So yeah, so he's not worthy of the office, is what he's trying to say.
Exactly. And this is once again belies the fact that who the man actually is and why he was elected president. Whether people like this or not, there's a lot of similarities between Donald Trump and Andrew Jackson, and they were both put in for the same reason: anti-establishment.
Wait, and there's another thing that's kind of similar as well. Didn't both of their own parties go after them?
Oh yeah, very much so. And it's going to this kind of stuff is how, you know, rough and tumble American politics can get, but it also reinvigorates several aspects of America, and that's why his presidency is good. Now, if you're going to talk about a failing of Trump's, okay, if you want to look at anything that he's failing in, it's the fact that he has not, I'm not saying it's his fault, but he has not been able to unite the nation. That is a very true statement. Okay, but there's no one that's going to. I'm going to tell you that right now. There is no way you're going to unite the United States right now.
Well, did President Obama unite the country in any way at all, or was that the reason Trump got elected?
No, he divided
Obama divided it even more.
I was going to say Romney's the one telling everybody to unite and be good kids and be good boys and girls, right? What did Romney do to help unite the country? He had binders full of whammons, didn't he?
he hugged Chris Christie.
Oh, congratulations.
No, wait, no, strike that. That was President Obama.
Yeah, okay. So what are we saying here? You know, like...
Orange man bad?
Apparently, you know, orange man bad, black hair man good. Okay? Literally what he did. All he did.
Did Romney win election for the Senate or whatever?
Yes.
Yeah, he's a senator now.
That's why we have to listen to his fucking ass talk. God damn it.
Well, like I said, he is positioning himself to replace John McCain. The problem that he's going to have is he doesn't have the personality John McCain has.
Or the cheddar.
Wait, the personality?
No,
he's got more cheddar than John McCain, but he's not John McCain.
No, he does not. He does not have the chops of John McCain.
Oh, I thought you said cheddar.
I meant the cheddar from the push, the pull, the juice.
Oh, I was talking about cheddars and like greenbacks.
Okay. All right. When I think John McCain, I think Warhawk. I think old. I think traitor. War. You know, POW. Oh, but I do not think charismatic. I do not think John F. Kennedy. Not when I'm thinking of
John F. Kennedy wasn't that charismatic, but that's a second issue. Right?
He was just pretty.
Well, he was a good-looking asshole.
He was pretty.
That's all he had. He didn't even have a big brain. He just was.
Well, but believe it or not, he had a couple things going for him. One, he himself was very photogenic. Two, he had a very photogenic wife, right? Which was the second positive. And three,
he would sleep with anything. Sorry.
And a very photogenic mistress.
Hey, okay. Who wouldn't have slept with Marilyn Monroe? All right, I mean, come on.
I couldn't stand Marilyn Monroe.
Me, I would not have either.
She wasn't smart, but she was photogenic.
No. There were much better looking women than Marilyn Monroe. What got people for whatever reason was she had how people describe a sultry voice. And there are some people that love that sultry voice. Lauren Bacall had that sultry voice too, but it's something, to be honest with me personally, voices like that are like, it just rubs me the wrong way. It's like,
was Marilyn Monroe like the symbol of sex at like a size 10? Sorry.
Real quick, I'm looking at the chat. Aunt Jack says JFK looked good. Well, before the assassination, yeah. God damn. Like a little harsh there, Aunt Jack.
No love lost from Aunt Jack here.
Yeah, leave the only Catholic president alone, damn it.
Well, okay. Magic Underpants is telling us how the president has failed.
Wait, what?
That's what I call Mitt Romney, is Magic Underpants.
Wait, is he Quail Man?
Wait, is his underwear kind of like the sorting hat from Harry Potter? Never mind, that's getting weird.
Okay,
You would do very well.
Talking out his ass. Yeah, no, we're talking. He's literally talking out his ass at that point. If you're making it funny.
Gryffindor. Sorry. Okay, I'm done.
Yeah,
I'm done.
he wishes that they were like Superman's draws.
Summit like that.
Only they could make him fly.
Oh, poor Cabby. That was an awkward spot to join the show, but welcome, sir.
Look, I have low expectations when I come in, mate.
Well, good. So it has to be good if it doesn't completely blow.
Yeah, well,
I don't want to hear the last thing Mrs. Memes said to you. Anyway, moving on.
Instead of Rosebud, when he's 95 and aging, and he's got the little
wave,
and then he's got the little globe. In his
wasn't
hand,
deliberate.
He's gonna sit up there and go. Iceberg.
You'll never live that down.
Oh, you're not the only one that won't let me.
I like that.
Dodge
one.
will never live
good.
down the fact that he's a Dodgers fan, and Memes will never live down the fact that he hit his.
How can you guys hate on a team that's been to the World Series 2 years in a row?
Girardi just brought out the club, tapped the freaking Memes on the knuckles, and took it upside freaking Mad Dodge's head.
Wow.
MD, you want to know how? Try being a Red Sox fan.
Oh, God.
And
Okay.
Memes
All right.
will never
We're moving
live
on.
down the fact that he hit his woman in the face with a fucking 20-foot wave while she was wearing contact lenses.
Memes, did you holler up there and go, "Hey, guys, now!" Hit her with the wave now.
Yes.
I command thee.
Yeah, he had Aquaman was on his side. He summoned that wave,
Aquaman was weaving some bad voodoo. I tell you what. I swam too close to the barrier. I swam too close to the barrier. Thereby, they delayed the wave by 2 minutes, which was the additional 2 minutes.
Oh my God!
Mrs. Beans came to get me.
You did do it. Oh shit. Okay. Fair enough.
What? I wasn't the only one out there.
You just admitted to it.
This has been hashed out before. It's fine. We can continue on with President Mittens.
No. Okay.
I always called him President Mittens. He's delusions of grandeur.
Is he the president of the Mickey Mouse
we gotta
Club?
call him Fancy Pants Mittens.
Wait. We already have a different president in the Mickey Mouse Club. Sorry, or a House of Mouse.
That's Fancy Pants.
No,
we can't call him Fancy Pants because then I think of Bob Hope.
You know what? After living by Bob Hope, it's okay.
Navo says, "Hey, the Red Sox are awesome. I support that statement."
Oh.
I don't. Kick him. No, I'm kidding.
Mad wants to be kicked.
So here's the thing. All right. Do we have anything else to talk about with Mittens, or should we get on to human compost?
Wait. Hold on. There's something I want to quote from that op-ed. Give me 2 shakes to get to where the op-ed is, and because I try not to keep them.
Little Lamb's Tail 1, Little Lamb's Tail 2, Little Lamb's Tail 3.
Where is it?
Real quick. Looking at the chat, American Phoenix. It is open mic night. The hangout link is now in the chat. I just threw it out there. Welcome to join. Unless you're a member of the House of Mouse, then you will get the kick.
Wait,
After
what?
I berate you.
after you're being berated.
After I berate you. I will mute you and berate you if you come from the House of Mouse. You will have to deal with me. I haven't said a word to anybody. You're going to have to deal with me. That's 6 months of waiting to say something to you fucks. So please, hop in. Let's see what happens, children.
Tamara is friendlier than she appears at times, and I can confirm that Tom is actually a medically confirmed gorilla.
Which means he has the smallest penis of all the primates.
Ouch! Went right for the fucking dick joke.
He's also
Yeah.
wielding a
Dude,
sawed-off
he
double
accused me of
barrel.
fucking black guys in front of my husband. Of course I'm going to go that route. Okay.
Oh, while we're
dear.
waiting on you
Wait,
to
I got
look
it.
for that. Oh, you got it.
I got
Okay,
it.
go ahead.
I got it. Okay, this is the virtue signal of all virtue signals from the least Republican of all Republicans in the last 10 years. Furthermore, I will act as I would with any president in or out of my party. I will support policies that I believe are in the best interest of the country and my state, and oppose those that are not. I do not intend to comment on every tweet or fault, but I will speak out against significant statements or actions that are divisive, racist, sexist, anti-immigrant, dishonest, or destructive to democratic institutions. Okay, I am for sale, and I will bitch about everything the president says unless I don't want to bitch about it because somebody paid me not to.
Tama, I have one criticism of your reading of that. You did it in way too deep of a voice for me.
I am female. I can only do male deep voices. Otherwise, I make them sound like women's.
Well, that might fit Minton.
Well, okay. Furthermore, I will act as I would with any president.
Okay,
I'll
we
do
just
that voice
offended
next
everybody.
time. What?
You realize he's got a little special viewing area on Pornhub, where his wife is, basically with a bunch of other guys.
Whoa, what? Wait a minute.
Dude, I clicked the favorites on my tab, and I visited Pornhub way too much in 2018.
is that that's your New Year's resolution? To let go of fucking hands off the snake, huh?
It's Rule 34.
No, that's like Rule 2 of the Proud Boys.
Does that mean you had to take down your
join.
picture of Mittens?
What?
If it exists, there is porn of it.
Oh my god, is there a Mormon section on Pornhub? Now I'm curious.
Oh, geez.
Wait, is that like M-Date?
What?
Who knows?
It's
But
like
as I
J-Date,
said,
except
it's
M-Date.
Rule 34.
I don't have that many rules.
They click their fingers and the magic underwear just disappears.
Powdered Toast Man.
Oh, God, MC.
I'm sorry. These jokes just set themselves up. I'm sorry. You wanted something to talk about, right?
No. And American Phoenix in the chat is X videos is better, no ads. Thanks for listening, buddy. Appreciate that.
It's harder.
I wasn't
to separate
talking about the Rule 34 site yet, idiot.
Wait, what? That's a website?
You didn't know that?
I do now.
She's like, you didn't know that? I've seen you how long?
Well, no,
Wait, are we talking about porn?
Yes, that's what we were talking about, but we're moving on rapidly. Okay, so
it's a much better story.
yeah. All right, what the fuck is Washington doing now? Are we going total? Is that even vegan? I mean,
Washington could become the first state to allow human composting. When Americans die, most are buried or cremated. Washington
really
could
need
soon
Quinn.
become the first state to allow another option: human composting. The bill will be introduced next month. According to a report from NBC News, the process is known as recomposting. I don't know why it's composting humans is recomposting. It involves placing bodies in a vessel and hastening their decomposition into a nutrient-dense soil that can then be returned to the families.
We're melting bodies.
We need Quinn.
went green.
Okay.
Wait. What country is this in?
Wait,
State of
America.
This is
What?
Washington State, the evergreen state. Yes, these people have lost their fucking mind.
Wait, let me guess. They just want to do this so they could recreate the movie How High, right? Like that's what's going on here.
Oh God.
Where'd Cabby go? I fear Cabby might be right.
They're going to be growing their marijuana in human. Oh God.
Oh
Anyway.
my God.
And driving people insane.
Gives the name Mary Jane kind of a new context to it.
Oh no!
Oh God!
Okay, no, but wait, I see a huge fucking problem with this whole suggestion that we compost people. Do you know what people put in their fucking bodies?
Many things.
Do you understand what kind of shit sits in our bodies? It is so toxic and bad that
Yes.
the Environmental
I
Protection
just said
Agency
it's going
has
to
said,
drive people insane.
well, no, the Environmental Protection Agency has said that humans are not allowed to decompose into the ground anymore. But they want to start a human compost program?
Yeah, they can kiss my ass on that. I want to be buried in just a regular wooden box for that reason.
No, I want to be cremated for that reason.
I just put my ass in the, make a metal box or make a wooden box, put me down in there, let the damn box rot, let the worms eat me, let fucking nutrients go, whatever. But, let a tree grow or something. I don't give a shit. Well, I'm dead, but I don't want to be put in a metal coffin.
But
let my body go back to the earth.
They could still try to reanimate you.
Who the fuck wants to be brought back from the dead? I'm dead, motherfucker.
I'm not
Let me
saying you
sleep.
want to, but I'm saying you'll be like necromantic labor. You'll be
like a forced zombie, huh?
Yes.
That even goes better with my plan because when the worms get to me, they ain't gonna be able to reanimate shit.
But what I want to go out as I want a Viking funeral.
I support this.
But throw me on a ship, all made of wood, light it on fire, and let me go.
I got a good buddy in Mississippi. His family has a pond. He wants to do that, but he's like, I need you to stab me in the ribs so that way my body doesn't scream with the let out of gas. Like, you son of a bitch.
Oh, that's stealing the guy's last re. You can't do that.
Yeah, he's literally telling me, he's like, look, I need you to fucking, come up, act like, you're saying goodbye or something, and just stick me in the rib cage.
Holy shit. That's fucked. Like, all the family standing around there, what the fuck are you doing, Jim?
And look, I'm gonna do it. That's the thing, all right? This is one of my best friends. I will stab him in the fucking ribs after he's dead. I'm just not excited about doing it.
It's his last wish.
By then you'll probably be charged with disturbing compost.
Well, actually,
so many levels.
In most states, desecrating a corpse is only a misdemeanor. You should be all right.
But there's several states where it's totally legal to fuck a corpse. It does, unless it's a kid corpse. You can't fuck a dead child, but you can fuck a dead adult.
Yeah, because we gotta draw the line somewhere, people.
Right? Like fucking.
Wait, hold on.
Point of TMI. You do realize that, right?
No. Did the sexual act begin while both individuals were still with us? Because sometimes people die during intercourse and shit.
Are you saying that it's okay if that happens? If a pedo is basically going at it and the child dies, then it's okay?
Why the hell does it have to be?
That's against the law, right? We're not talking.
No. I'm stopping. Yeah, no. U-turn, guys.
From Mitt Romney to chuck fucking dead children. What?
Okay. U-turn, people. U-turn. We're headed back to Washington and the human compost heap because that's the real
story. And my husband's going to break, so I'm heading out of here for a minute.
All right, sure.
Lucky you. I can't.
Have a good one.
Okay.
Later,
all right. So, why is Washington? Do they have a problem with dead bodies? The cemeteries filling up because it's not New Orleans where they flood and you have to actually have tombs above ground. I mean, this is fucking Washington State, right?
Yep.
But it's on a giant fault line too. It's full of it's mostly mountains.
Is this economic? Is it because it can be expensive to die?
Well,
No.
Don't they have Mount St. Helens there?
Honestly, I'm
Can't you
thinking
just
this
throw
is-
it like right in
And
the lava
Steve,
pit
we're
at the
not
top of the Mount St.
sacrificing
Chuck 'em into a
Helens?
volcano.
Hold on,
You know.
guys. I lived in Washington for like half a year or so. That was as long as I could tolerate the fucking place. I will tell you, over half of the population I saw in any metropolitan area was old. It's like Florida, but cold. It's full of old fuckers that nobody wants to talk to or deal with. So
I
if they
think
can
that's
put them
why
in a
they're doing
big
this.
pile in a compost pole, yeah, go compost them and put them out everybody's way. That's what they're thinking, as far as I can tell. I don't know. Washington is full of retarded people that aren't Washingtonians. So I don't know.
They don't know how to fucking drive either. I was just up there yesterday, and yeah, those people around Seattle, Tacoma, they cannot fucking drive.
No, they're fucking retarded. They are fucking retarded.
Well, you have to be retarded if you want to grow your vegetables in human compost. What the fuck's going on here?
Be retarded. Well, this is the same place that has Evergreen College, man. Don't forget what you're talking about here.
Yeah, I know, but Portland State.
My thing is, I'm not necessarily against the idea
Oh, I am.
of human composting. It's just like it has to be like, okay, I want to do this. Like I said, with my case, I want, put me in a wooden fucking box and bury me 6 feet deep, and that's going to degrade. My body's going to rot, and it's going to put nutrients into the soil. I'm a hunter. The earth has fed me my entire life. I want to fucking feed the earth when I die. That's just my way of being. I didn't know it was honestly illegal. I think it's stupid that it ever was illegal.
Well, the thing is about that is just like the feed in cattle, all right, that was partially responsible for mad-cow disease. You end up with this kind of stuff. It's very this is not a good idea for a variety of reasons.
Yeah,
not the least of which is
kids.
Well, no, and are you having the brain matter in the compost as well? Because there's brain fucking.
Here's the thing. It should just be this.
Right?
It should be it cannot be used for human consumption food.
No.
Put it out in like burned out areas.
Are you kidding me? They're going to be smoking it. They're going to be putting it in their garden. Yeah. They're going to say, "Look, it's all organic, man."
Yeah. My best friend Steve died. Now I'm growing a weed plant out of him. You want to smoke some Steve plant?
Okay,
motherfucker, did you just quote how high to me?
Wait, okay, so when I was late 80s, early 90s, I was younger. I lived in California, and they were having water shortages. So they started taking the recycled, unpotable water from the sewage system and using it to water the lawns for public buildings and schools and things like that. About 3 months later, there were tomato plants growing everywhere.
Oh God.
Okay, so there's a whole lot of side effects to exactly. Oh God, what's the right words? There's a whole lot of side effects to not thinking it through in terms of microbiology and
the ecosystem.
Yeah. How?
I tend to agree with what Ain't Jack says in the chat. Washington may be where the zombie
outbreak starts.
Because I mean, if we're gonna start smoking things that are like based off of Steve and shit like that, it's like something about something growing within a human could fuck with humans.
Yes, the reactions could be devastating.
Yeah,
I mean, there are a number of illnesses that are related to this kind of situation, and like I said, Jacob Creutzfeldt's disease is one of them, and so that's just one possibility.
MC is agreeing with me. I'm terrified.
Here's my master plan, right? I'm gonna grow a Venus flytrap in that shit, and I'm gonna see if I can recreate Little Shop of Horrors.
My God!
Man.
Finally, somebody is using science for the right reasons.
It's gonna be a zombie plant. It won't be able to be stopped.
Give me a weed eater, bitch. I'm Mexican. I can stop any plant.
Okay, you can't die before you slay the plant.
Well, no shit.
Okay, so the Mexican just told the girl who was raised by a gardener that the white girl raised by a gardener. That's funny, Phoenix, because my stepdad's a gardener. I was gonna go with roundup because we'll give him cancer at the same time. But you beat me to it.
Well, maybe that was the problem with my ex. I always was ended up. I fucked that up.
You came too late. You came too late.
I fucked that up. Yeah.
You came too late.
Are you ready for the next story?
God. Okay, which one?
Yeah, how are you going to top that one, MC?
But wait, there's more. Apparently, Romney's niece really didn't much fucking appreciate Romney coming out and talking shit about the president that she works for.
No, I'm just happy that everybody is finally on the fuck Mormons bandwagon. I have been saying this for years. Okay, I have been mocking them heavily. You can go back and look at every stream I'm on. I'm always saying fuck the Mormons. I'm just happy that you guys have all found the true path.
Wait, what's wrong with Mormons?
Mitt Romney.
They're in a fucking cult. They wear special underwear. They have 2 years of food in their house. They manipulate. They use the fucking church. They have bullshit fucking rules. All right. And on top of all that, they can be great people on an individual basis, but when you get them into a fucking herd, they're the most insufferable bunch of jackasses that you ever met.
Wait a minute, though. I got a question. They have over 2 years worth of food stored in their house. Now, why the fuck isn't Rick Grimes in Utah right now raiding these motherfuckers?
Right?
What the fuck?
Right, Georgia's in like such a bad state, and they've gotten up to Virginia according to the series, right? That's kind of where they're at right now. They're like on the Virginia-Georgia border according to the show. But why are they sticking to the East Coast? Go to the Midwest where there's no fucking people and no fucking zombies.
Yeah, unless you count zombie cows.
Would that be a hell of a lot easier to deal with than anything else, wouldn't it? A zombie cow is going to be going coming at you really slow.
Since I kind of switched this over to a Walking Dead thing, there's one thing that pisses me off about The Walking Dead. How the fuck did what's his goddamn name? The dude with the stick. Fucking he was from the very first episode. His son ended up dying. Morgan, how the fuck did he end up in Mexico from goddamn Virginia? Like, what the fuck?
Because Morgan wanders around because he's fucking batshit crazy.
That's a lot of wandering to do in a zombie apocalypse. You know what I'm saying? Because they're not doing very good in fear.
Well, one
not really.
Forrest
Gump could have had that shit done in a week.
Well, and it doesn't have to be believable. Come on, like, you know, the person with no moral compass and no ability to make a decision for himself would totally stay the leader of a group for 7 years.
Well, from what I hear, either they are or they're going to, or they already have, I should say, kill Rick Grimes and fucking, what's his name is going to fucking, Daryl, who's going to be the new leader.
No, Daryl shouldn't be the leader. But that's neither here nor there.
Daryl needs to make Boondock Saints 3.
Right? Where the fuck is that movie? That's what I want to see. Fucking memes.
I was gonna put him to be an extra in that, but I think they're turning into maybe a Netflix series or something now. I may or may not have. I may or may not already have certain ink that because it was supposed to be about a mob, if you would, following the Saints.
Real quick, old school WCW WWF fan here. Rest in peace, Mean Gene. He died today. I remember watching him in WCW. He was an announcer for all the great fucking matches I ever remember watching. That actually made me a little sad when I saw that on Twitter today.
Yeah, straight up, dude. Mean Gene was a fucking legend.
Absolutely. So I did want to shout out Mean Gene, and I hope his family's doing all right. I'm sure they're not. You know, he just died, but he was a legend in his time. He really was.
You remember that speech he gave where he's like, one day if I ever get called up into heaven, bury me face down so that all my critics can kiss my ass.
Yeah. Good guy.
Oh, yeah.
Anybody
else know anything about wrestling? Okay, Mean
Gene Okerlund, man. Dude. He was like the voice of wrestling for a long time.
Yeah, no, and WCW for a really long time. Like, yeah, he made it into the WWE Hall of Fame, but he was a WCW guy. You know what I mean?
Well, he was like the old school interviewer and stuff. He's like, he would just get right in there. Like, he'd be there with the Macho Man. The Macho Man would be doing, I'm the cream of the crop. I'm going to rise to
Wait, the short little bald guy with the mustache died?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, bummer. I didn't know his name.
Of course I did. Like I said, old school. Bret Hart's my favorite wrestler ever. You know, I follow Ken Shamrock on fucking Twitter, and he actually follows me too, which is cool. And yes, I know memes. We should get Shamrock on to talk about Mean Gene, but I doubt we can.
The link.
I'm probably going to catch shit for this, but my favorite wrestler of all time is still Stone Cold Steve Austin.
No, he does a TV show now, or did for a little bit. It was kind of like a like endurance type show or whatever.
Yeah, I watched it a few times.
The Broken Skull Ranch.
Yeah,
no, it was actually a pretty good series and everything. And Stone Cold probably had the most influence. For me, it's between him and I think I got to err on the Macho Man.
No, Undertaker can whoop Macho Man's ass. Anyway, MC's probably face palming. We're going deep into
the Undertaker in a casket match against Yokozuna had the highest power level of all professional wrestling.
And I'm going to make all you guys cringe because I enjoyed watching Triple H in China.
Oh, back in DX? Yeah, no, DX was good.
Oh, God. Okay. So I remember seeing Sable in the Playboy. And then I saw China, and I wanted to gouge my eyes out and went back to Sable. I didn't keep that.
You never checked out the China porn, I'm guessing?
No, I liked China because she had a whole series on feminine bodybuilding that she did that was really nice. It was about muscle sculpting for women so that they still looked feminine. She had a whole series she did on that. That's why I liked her. Yeah. Sorry.
And she was the first woman to ever hold a male belt.
That's true.
Yeah, she fucking took the IC title. I mean, she hit the motherfucker with a frying pan to do it, but still.
Did China die?
Oh, yeah. China fucking died a few years ago.
Oh. I didn't know that.
Addiction sucks.
Yeah, actually, all the old schoolers are dying. Other than like Bret Hart, he had a damn stroke, and now he's up to walking again and training people to be wrestlers again. Like, how he fucking did it.
He just thinks he's Charlie.
What about Michael Hickenbotham?
Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
Oh, he's still around.
Yeah, he's alive. He's actually hardcore Christian now. He's living on his ranch in fucking Texas. Him and Bret Hart actually had a sit down and fucking fix that shit from the Montreal screw job. They finally hashed that shit out a few years ago.
You have no idea how much I'm giggling in the back of my mind right now. We're off air. I'm going to tell you a story that's going to make you laugh your ass off, Mad.
Shawn Michaels hit on you.
No.
And he was
I'll just say, so my ex-husband is like a big fat welfare queen progressive, right? He's in his 40s, almost 50. He still dyes his hair blue from time to time. He's a big boy. Him and his wife have twins, and they named one of their twins after a wrestler that you just told me turned into the antithesis of everything they thought is good. He's turned into everything they fucking hate. You have no idea how much that amuses me, guys. And they named one of their kids after this man.
Oh, that's hilarious.
It's beautiful. It's God. I don't ever need to be mad at that man. I don't ever need to seek any kind of revenge. He does it for me.
I think we're all forgetting the most badass wrestler of all time. All right, seriously? The Blue Meanie. All right, can you fucking... Dude, the Blue Meanie, come on, man.
No, come on. Rowdy Roddy Piper, man. I fucking got to meet him. I got his autograph hanging on my wall. It was later in life when he was running Piper's Pit, Portland Wrestling. He bought Portland Wrestling and did the Piper's Pit thing. And I actually got to meet him. So I have his autograph hanging on the wall right now.
Fuck yeah. I was joking about the Blue Meanie thing. I will just always have a soft spot in my heart for the Blue Meanie because the ass beating that he took was responsible for the fucking best chair shot ever recorded in television history.
That's true.
Oh, you
I mean,
remember?
Didn't Mimi come out
Dude.
as the lumberjacker or something after that?
I try not to think about that.
Since we're going old school, you remember the first tables, ladders, and chair match? That shit. What was it? The
Okay.
Hardy
No,
Boys.
guys, no, please, no. Are we going down this route? Please, somebody shoot me.
Oh,
Really?
dude, I'll
Okay,
give you WrestleMania 10, one of the first ladder matches for the Intercontinental Championship between Shawn Michaels and Razor Ramon.
Oh, Scott
Dude,
Hall.
you remember
Okay.
fake Razor
Yeah.
and fake Diesel?
Oh God. It's like, well, Razor Ramon and Diesel just pieced out to WCW for more money. They didn't really tell anybody, oh, hey, next week, let's get a fake Razor Ramon. It's like,
Well, yeah,
That was
he
funny.
still,
He was a
McMahon
midget,
still
right?
owned
Was
the
it?
names. That
That's
was the thing. He was
hilarious.
trying to be like, well, I own the name, and the name is what makes the wrestler.
Don't worry, Tama. We're not going to dwell on wrestling too much longer. Okay, last thing I want to throw out there: Hell in a Cell match. Undertaker, Mankind throwing him off the fucking cage. That was hardcore.
Oh,
I don't
fuck
care
yeah.
who you are.
Almighty!
What was
He's
it?
killed him! He's killed him!
Dude, okay, if do you have the WWE Network? Did you watch the Mick Foley 20-year anniversary special on that?
No, I
Fucking
didn't,
watch
but
it,
I
dude.
want to.
Oh,
Yeah, fucking watch it, man.
I heard his commentary. I watched a segment.
Oh, it's good. Yeah, it's a whole hour-long documentary. It's fucking wonderful.
Who was the guy that was doing the dangerous entry and he fell and they had to go to a blood?
That's Owen
Owen
Hart.
Hart.
He hit right on the turnbuckle and broke his neck instantly. They wheeled him out. It's fucked. Okay, they wheel him out into the backstage, past all the wrestlers, and Vince McMahon literally looks at the next two guys and go, "You two are up. Show must go on." There's their friend dead in the stretcher with a fucking blanket over his head.
Yeah.
It was fucked. It was fucked.
Yeah,
No,
they
dude,
had
it
to do
is, but I
live.
mean, they did a fucking show the day after 9/11. So, I mean, is it fucked? Yes, but it's like I said, the show has to go on. He's trying to fucking make sure that people get what they're paying for and try to provide entertainment value. Not saying it's right, but I'm saying I get where he's coming from.
Everybody else. I mean,
And they were live.
You just go into rope mode, right?
Well, and they were live too. They were live when that happened. It wasn't like this was a pre-recorded event they were putting up later. They
Which
were live.
pay-per-view was that? In the house or something like that?
No, that was a
pay-per-view
regular
event.
weekly event because I was watching with my
That was
ex-husband.
Raw?
No,
That
it was a pay-per-view event.
Yeah, they didn't bust out those entrances for regular house shows very often.
It
I
was like
remember watching it.
we had Sunday Night Heat, which was the lead up to it at the time, I believe.
I remember watching it. Maybe it was a pay-per-view. It's been 20 years.
Yeah,
20
I
plus
used to do all my chores week in and week out, babysit my little sisters just so I could watch my wrestling and buy my pay-per-views. So I did watch that match, but yeah,
God
I don't
damn,
know.
you guys are making me feel old. I had kids and shit. I was married and like bills and stuff like that.
I was like 13 and shit. Yeah.
Hey, if it makes you feel worse, hey, I hope this doesn't make you feel worse, but when the Undertaker Mick Foley match happened, I think I was 2. No, I would have been 6. It was a 20-year review. Yeah, so I was 6 years old when that
starts
happened.
to slightly
coffee.
cough.
Yeah. Emma, don't kill me, please.
Oh,
I'm
I
sorry.
won't kill you, baby. You're still younger. You're younger than you're older than my daughter, so you're fine. You're fine. And
All
you're
right.
younger than my son, so you're good.
But
You're
no,
good.
no,
Good zone.
Oh, so that's
only
why you
saw-
that's why we don't, get along all the time, because I'm just like the middle child to you.
Yeah, you're the good boy.
There was one event I saw live. I went to the Staples Center. I saw the Blackout show on Sunday night right before the Monday Night Raw. I actually got to see the last Ho Train. Remember the Godfather? He would come out with all the chicks behind him. He did that on the Blackout show, and the very next Raw, he was the censorship guy, and he like completely just threw that whole persona away. So I saw the very last Ho Train, which is kind of cool. No one else
Scared me at a Monday Night Raw event. The only thing Kane stared at me and it scared me. I was a 21-year-old and I was, oh fuck, 5'7" and tiny and looking at giant man going, "Don't eat me!" And I don't think he was staring at me for that reason, but I thought he was going to eat me, and it scared me.
Big red man, hungry. And that reminds me, I got to see the formation of the Rock and Sock connection in Boston.
You know what? Oh, did you? That's awesome. Tema, you know the guy, I don't remember his real name, but he was the wrestler Kane. He's a libertarian and he won his
he's
local
a mayor
township.
now.
Yeah, he's a mayor.
I saw that. And he doesn't look scary without the mask. He looks like the sweetest guy. Like I want to go up and give him a hug. Looks like a giant teddy bear.
Yeah.
Why does he keep picking me?
I don't know, but you had your camera on, buddy, when you came in.
I know. I'm not. I keep it off usually just because I'm driving, so my service can kind of get shoddy. But I don't mind being on camera.
Look, there's his majestic beard.
Oh,
Phoenix has an awesome beard.
I like that beard.
Amazing beard.
Actually, this is the first time I've ever seen you. You do not look like I thought you would. So,
Looks exactly like
what do you expect?
I don't know. Not such a fucking good beard. I don't know.
Are you jealous of his beard?
No, I'm not allowed to grow a beard like that, or I would. I can grow a beard.
So the answer is yes.
Hey, shut up.
How are you not allowed to grow a beard?
My wife hates my beard. She makes me shave it, and I like to get laid. I'm married, man. Come on.
Well, see, I
He who
like
sacrifices
beard.
his beard for a woman deserves neither.
I prefer the beard. I don't understand women that prefer clean shaven face.
No,
Oh my God.
it's to each their own.
I prefer beards too, which is why my husband has a beard.
Hey, MC, I actually had a very similarly majestic beard, a slightly different color at one point.
And that is why I yelled at you when you shaved it off, you stupid ass.
The artist formerly known as Mrs. Memes was not a fan.
It was painted on.
Dude, I love
I just don't get it, man. I tell any woman who I'm thinking about dating, I show them a picture of me and I let them know right off the bat, if you try to make me choose between you and the beard's been here longer.
Yeah.
Yeah, the beard survives.
I ain't going to be clean shaved again. Like, the last time I was clean shaved was 10 years ago for my older sister's wedding. That shit ain't happening again. I'm going to have a beard until I die.
My uncle's like that. He's got scars, so he likes the beard. He's got big scars on his chin from something he did when he was younger, and that beard covers all of that up.
Yep.
Well, ex Mrs. Memes loved the beard, which was very creepy because when I saw a picture of her stepdad, who wasn't that much older than myself, and you looked at the beards next to each other, you're like, are those guys brothers?
Oh, no. That is kind of creepy, Memes.
Dude, I can Memes, hold on. I can outdo that, dude. My mom's an alcoholic, and she likes to get drunk and talk about her ideal man. I shit you not. She doesn't look at me, but she fucking describes me. 100%. That is fucking creepy, dude.
Have you been to
I don't go see
Pornhub?
my mother very often.
Memes, don't go there. We're not going back to the Pornhub discussion.
I never said it was a good thing. I'm just saying it's a thing.
You know, let's go back a little bit further back to the fact that, you know, when you start thinking about this, and how is it that they actually get to human composting? Do they throw the body in a wood chipper?
God,
we're
I hope
going
so.
back. We're going all the way back to that. All right.
No, well, because there's mom's
So
gone
much,
now. It's time for her to go.
I hope that they throw them in a wood chipper. That's the most metal way to go out ever. Just
No,
he's dead. Wood chipper.
No, MC, we've been over this. I told you this morning. No wood chipper for your birthday.
Okay, we need to start a GoFundMe. We need to get Phoenix a wood chipper.
What?
No, I'm looking at the chat.
Really fucking hits me right there, man. I love you all.
Well, before you say that, you might want to hear the chat. Zell says, "Go away, Canadian Phoenix. If I wanted you around, we'd insult a tarted female." Zell, Sarah's not around.
Wait, what?
We're free of stupid today. Oh, thank you.
I know what he's talking about.
As long as
I'm not exactly sure, and I don't care.
It's a long running.
All right,
No,
so we are now in the beginning of 2019. If 2018 was the year of censorship, what say the panel?
2019.
What is 2019
is going to get worse. 2019 is going to be worse. This is going to be the year of the banhammer. This is going to be the year of alt media. It's going to be, the first half of this year is going to be ugly. You're going to watch the major payment, the MasterCard and Visa and Chase and all the major banks, they're going to start trying to push their muscle around because they make so much off of big tech. Big tech is crashing right now. You are going to see a bigger panic than you saw this year. So you guys get your Streamy ready, get your Gab ready, get your minds ready, get all of your alternative platforms for everything you do if you are doing this for any reason other than fucking off. Because if you aren't, you're going to get caught with your pants down. They're going to start, and it won't matter if you're big or small or anything. They're going to look for people like us, especially since we found there's this website called Change the Terms, which is going out and finding groups that have terms of service to force anybody who's not part of the progressive agenda. They're using it to force them off of every platform they can find. And there's not a lot of these people, but they've weaponized themselves.
Yeah, no, it's a very outspoken minority. And American Phoenix, you're on a cell phone because I saw you driving, and Sherardi's on a cell phone as well. That's probably why you guys are getting kicked from Google Hangouts, just so you know.
Yeah,
it's cool. I got nothing else to do. I'll probably just keep jumping on until one of you finally gets annoyed enough to actually kick me.
Unless you're in House of Mouse.
People.
Well, I now have a new rule where I kick anybody from the House of Mouse. That's going to be a standing rule from here on out.
But
welcome to
only after
2019.
I get to berate them first. But only after I get to berate them first, because I've only been able to berate one person involved in this shit that's decorated me with bullshit.
So Tom, I'm going to go off of your banhammer theory, and I'm actually going to agree with that. I'm going to have a slightly different take. Yes, I think there's going to be a lot of folks that are going to be banned, but I think 2019 may be the year where you start seeing a lot more conservative-ish folk actually reciprocating to things that many more folks on the quote-unquote left have been doing for a while.
Yeah,
no, you're thinking this is the year the other half of the horseshoes.
Yeah, everyone's just going to slash report everybody.
Yeah, no, the alt media strikes back. Pretty much is my thoughts. Look at what David Ruman and Jordan Peterson are doing right now, and they are supposed to drop that. It was supposed to be the 15th. It's looking like it'll be closer to the end of January now, beginning of February.
Yeah,
because
they're having payment processor issues. They're having payment processor issues, just like everybody else has been having, because MasterCard and Visa have decided they're going to leverage things for their own personal gain for their advertisement only. They are controlling this so that they have control over advertisement. That is exactly what they're doing. The banks are looking at it and going, okay, what's threatening big tech? It's these groups that we're going to call quote unquote fringe, because I'm sorry, if we're going to call Bolsonaro, the new leader of Brazil, if we're going to call that dude far right, we're fucked. And that's where we're going right now. They're calling Bolsonaro a far right guy.
Speaking of Bolsonaro,
he's
in the news.
Yeah, well, that's what it brought to my mind. I was thinking, somebody who's obviously a left-leaning, moderate, classic Democrat from America is running Brazil, and they're calling him a far-right guy. We have gone off the rails, people. There is not going to be, it is going to be the year of disinformation being called truth. It is going to be on, because I remember Lars Larson talking about this after Trump got elected. He said, we are now in the age of lies.
We're in post-truth.
We're in the era of post-truth. Thank you. I couldn't remember. We're in the era of post-truth, and we're going to see it get worse. We're just, be ready, guys.
That's interesting you brought up Lars Larson, because he broadcasts out of Portland, right? And I haven't listened to AM radio in forever. I now do all my radio here on YouTube, and I fucking release more than I listen to, actually. But Lars Larson, I wonder, what does he think about all this shit going on, if you've actually heard him broadcast lately?
Has anybody?
I don't know.
Come on, memes. You gotta be listening to him.
What, LL?
Yeah.
I saw him live.
I don't know. I know he's big up here in the Northwest. I just, like I said, I don't listen to radio anymore.
Well, the music selection up here in Portland is shit. Okay, The radio stations are shit. I don't like pop. I don't like rap, and I don't like 80s pop. Okay, I never liked 80s pop. So I'm really kind of relegated to conservative radio or to talk radio out here.
Which talk radio, unless it's NPR, is conservative radio. I mean,
that's nobody wants to listen to liberals bloviate about nothing. They don't make interesting conversations. It's all been foisted upon us. This is a big fucking lie. America is more conservative than they want to admit. Americans are naturally patriotic and nationalistic. It's just how we are.
But at the same time, the biggest problem that they have is the fact that everyone's like them. The mainstream media is exactly what they're going to say. There's no difference there. If you watch ABC, if you watch CBS, if you watch MSNBC, really it's the same. They're going to take the same slants on the same stories.
Is this why?
What they are. They're competing against themselves.
Well, MC, is this why like places like Fox News and even a lot of folks on YouTube are seeing a lot of success, because there are only a select number of outlets per se for more conservative thoughts?
Yes, very much so. Very much so. I mean, and that's one of the problems that Fox News is having right now, is because since they got rid of his father, the Murdochs are trying to take it into a more liberal mindset.
Yeah, and the more critical they become,
as a result, people are like, well, you're losing what made you unique. You were unique amongst the mainstream media outlets. You're trying to push us and push off all the conservative voices, just so that you can bring in these people that are basically just like Wolf Blitzer. All right.
Yeah, we need another Don Lemon, right?
Yeah. Well, exactly. So why are people doing it? Sean Hannity's show was still highly popular in there, but they're trying to force him out. I mean, it's unfortunate for Fox News. They're making the wrong decisions.
Well, part of the problem is that Fox has decided to grab a bunch of boring corporatist neocons and keep them in place.
Well, yeah. Well, they got rid of all their real heavy conservatives because they, for a variety of reasons.
Well, not all were necessarily choices, MC.
I'm talking about people like Michelle Malkin. Michelle Malkin used to be on there all the time.
Yeah,
they basically got rid of her.
I was talking about Papa Bill.
Who cares about O'Reilly?
The number one rated cable news show for what they get up to 16, 17 years and counting. And I used to remember, because I used to watch Bill O'Reilly a lot, because I'm like, all right, he's presenting things. I don't necessarily always agree with the guy. But then at some point, he'd have 5 or 6 people just screaming at each other. And I would change the channel. And then I'm like, wait.
Familiar.
Well, it almost like television blood sports. I'm like, maybe is this the reason why this was the number one rated cable news show for 16 plus years?
Well, and the thing is, though, I have to agree with Styx on one thing when it comes to O'Reilly. It is kind of satisfying to see him relegated to being, for lack of a better term, one of us. Now he's on the fucking internet. You know what I mean?
What's wrong with that? It's the future.
Well, okay, but I think, so what are the most popular shows on Fox? What are the ones you see that get uploaded, that people share, they clip, they use, they interact with the most?
Oh, Tucker.
Who is that? It's Tucker, it's Greg Gutfeld's show, and The Five.
It used to be Judge Napolitano's show was the biggest show on Fox Business until they fired him. Why do they hate libertarian ideas?
Because libertarians are principled, which makes them not malleable. Libertarians go off of a set of basic principles that are based on the non-aggression principle, right? Everything they do is based off of the non-aggression principle, which encodes free speech. You try to take somebody who's a libertarian, who 100% believes in free speech, and you put them into a corporate television setting, they're never going to make it.
Yeah, no, and it is open mic night. I saw Common Sense Guy in the chat. Hey, Common Sense Guy, if you're still there, I think the free speech thing that Tema just brought up would go well with that video you made recently. I kind of want to ask you a few questions about that.
I would like to talk about that race baiting video he made, because that was interesting, and there were some things pointed out that he pointed out. There was some other stuff missed.
Yeah. So, Common Sense Guy, if you see that link and you have a few moments tonight, I know it's late over there, buddy, but go ahead and click the link. Tema and I have a few questions for your last couple videos, which aren't going to be mean.
No, they spurred conversation. and fought for me because that race baiting video was fucking ugly. That
Well,
was
the thing is,
horrible.
he made a video about Ren, who I happen to follow on Twitter. I know who she is. She seems all right, but I didn't know she was so anti-free speech, and she I don't know.
I don't think she is. I think the problem is the choice of words between the two of them. The one's arguing apples, the other one's arguing oranges, because they're coming at it from two different perspectives. That's how I see that, to be honest.
Wait, what's this about Ren being against free speech? I just kind of hop back into this.
Ren,
I know who
not
Ren is.
I
Ren.
agree with that.
Oh.
See. Wait, yeah, like Ren Stimpy.
No, Ren.
Yeah,
R-I-N.
R-I-N. Yeah, she's
Not Ren
on
Relations.
Twitter. She has a YouTube channel, and I'm not trying to be mean to her because her channel's a little bit smaller than mine. I'm not trying to swing down, as they would say. I just want to ask Common Sense Guy about their interaction on Twitter that got him blocked. Because I've talked to her on Twitter. I've never been blocked, and I don't agree with her on everything.
Okay, guys. Yeah, I thought he was talking about like Ren Relations. I was like, wait a second, what the fuck? I know Ren. I talk to Ren all the time. Like, where the fuck is this coming from?
No, this is Rin Michaelis, but she's not a. I don't think she's against free speech or anything like that. I think they're arguing from two separate points of view, and they're actually arguing the same thing, but the way they're coming about it is exactly opposite. So there's no commonality there. It is. Gotcha. I think it's more of a culture clash than anything else. I really do. I was reading because I read the tweets. Right, I read where they were going with it, and I'm watching this, and I can see what both sides are saying, and I can also identify. To me, it looks like, hey, you're saying one thing. Her response is completely. She's responding to an entire different argument. All right, and so it's obvious you guys haven't come together to be talking about the same thing. One's talking about apples, the other one's talking about oranges.
Meanwhile, JF is talking about the Jews.
Well, no, and the thing is, I've got into Twitter spats where I ended up getting the 12-hour ban and stuff like that, and it was with Prophet. I'm sure you guys have heard of him. He's a lefty, a YouTuber.
Prophet?
And Prophet, yeah.
Prophet.
Yeah, me and him were arguing over gun control. And he didn't happen to like what I had to say about banning gun attachments or even certain types of firearms. And he gave me the ban. So I was like, okay, fuck you too, buddy. And I went and got him banned for the same conversation because we were yelling at each other.
Are you saying that you're for banning shit or that he was and he didn't like what you said about not banning shit?
You got it right the second time.
Well, you guys were having a cordial conversation. It wasn't like you guys were just cursing each other out using lots of caps locks and exclamation points.
Did we descend into the realm of calling each other cunts? The answer is yes.
Oh, so you reciprocated after he reported you.
I don't remember who called. I don't know who pulled the cunt card first. Honestly, I could have.
You guys went full potato.
Well, fucking with my guns.
You guys both went full potato. It's fine.
So you were arguing about something you were passionate about, and via the internet, you dropped some seed.
What I was trying to point out, though, is you could tell that that's combative from almost the initiation of the conversation. With Common Sense Guy and Rin, you can't see that really. You know what I mean? It didn't seem. I don't know how he got the 12-hour ban. Because I don't see Common Sense Guy even cussing in that conversation.
Well, since when has cussing been a reason to banhammer somebody?
I have no idea. Considering Twitter allows porn. Real quick, sorry, Tama. I hate to cut you off, but I can scroll through my goddamn Twitter with the kids behind me, and there's a fucking porn picture popping up all the goddamn time. But I can't say cunt.
Stop following Ted Cruz.
I know, right?
It's good. Well, okay, so we can't use certain cuss words, but on Twitter, so we can say less on Twitter than people on TV can say when talking to each other? Really?
Pretty much.
Really? Are you serious?
Well, here's the thing: unless you're a fucking fan of Bernie Sanders or Hillary Clinton or any of that, then yeah.
Yeah, you got to follow the right people. We lost Phoenix again, poor guy.
Yeah, no, they keep dropping out. I'm reading the chat here. Dan S says send Cadunt the link. I don't really know Cadunt. I think I've talked to them once or twice. I don't really know.
Why are we calling in Cadunt?
I have no idea. I don't, and I can't just send that person the link. I don't know.
I mean, I can, but I think she's working.
Well, Dan S was asking for it.
That's why I'm asking Dan. I don't understand, so I'll wait for him to.
But
I think he's making the assumption that maybe she's available.
Well, I think he was talking about titties, but
Those are good.
Yeah, Dan likes boobs. Him and Alfred.
Well, I mean, who doesn't? I mean,
so
but anyway,
Yorkie and 8Jack are talking about something interesting in the chat. They're talking about South Africa, and Yorkie is saying there's probably going to be a civil war in South Africa. I'm thinking there's going to be a civil war that requires Australia to go in and solve the problem, because Australia's been the one, isn't it? Australia and New Zealand's been offering to help to solve the problem, but it's definitely going to be an issue because they signed the, what was it called? Anyway, they're gonna take land from the white farmers and give it to people that want the land. But at the same time, they're trying to keep the white farmers and the whites that are leaving South Africa, they're trying to keep them from leaving South Africa at the same time. Really, they just want to kill white people, and this is their excuse for it.
I don't know if that's necessarily true, but I do want to get to what we were just talking about before. Common sense guy, did you hear what I was saying? Because I don't see any venom in your guys' tweets back and forth, you and Rin. I would like to hear your point of view in not necessarily a formulated video, which I did watch, by the way.
Yeah, no, that's fine. What happened between me and Rin was for some reason we were discussing something to do with Sargon, which is not the issue. We had a disagreement on that side of things. I said to her that you can't call a communist just an anti-capitalist. You can't call somebody who's an anti-feminist just an anti-feminist. And then she calling her that, and then she reported me for harassment.
Yeah, which seems really weird because I've been following her for quite a while on Twitter. She follows me back. Now, let's be honest, I don't use my Twitter all fucking day long, and I don't really shit post on it. I use it for advertising for my channel.
Sure.
So, yeah, so there's not really any area to necessarily get into an argument with her about. But she seemed almost right-leaning libertarian to me, and for her to actually report you seems fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, and the sad thing is that she admitted to it about 3 times. The first time that she admitted to it was she did it on a whim. Then she admitted on it to saying, why can't I do what I feel like, or why I feel like doing it? And the third time was, yeah, I was just trolling him, meaning me.
So do you think there's a difference between I'm sick of hearing what you have to say, so I hit block, and me reporting you to the Twitter police?
There's totally something different.
Of course there's something completely different. If somebody blocks me, then that means I'm blocked from speaking to them. If they report me, it means I've lost my platform, regardless of how many subscribers, regardless of how many followers, for however long. If she blocks me, I just lose speaking to her. That's not her exercising freedom of speech against me or anything, or losing freedom of speech against me. That's the actual point of a block or a mute button. Where she didn't do that, she just reported me. And then even after the report, so if this was true, which was the harassment part of it, which I cannot prove or disprove because the tweets had to be removed, is the case of if I was harassing her, why didn't she block me afterwards instead of having a 5 to 6 hour fucking conversation?
Who knows, man? Bitches be crazy.
Well, she didn't really enjoy the attention too much, considering that she hasn't drawn any attention to the video that I made or any attention to the previous tweets that I've also made about it as well.
Well, no, and this isn't me being a dick, but she was streaming today, and I saw her cap out at 3 viewers. I'm not trying to be a dick, but it is what it is. I mean, you know what I mean?
I knew I didn't do that video because I wanted to get back at her for any particular reason. She advocates for being a free speech advocate. She activizes being a free speech person. She has a playlist on her YouTube channel, which is censorship and free speech. The way I met her was watching her having a debate about freedom of speech on the fucking internet. And then she goes and reports somebody on the internet just because she felt like it. Kind of hypocritical, the reason why I did the video.
Yeah,
That I agree with.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. Common sense guy. That'd be like me. Okay. I've been blocking a few people lately because of some drama circulating around the channel, which I'm sure you've seen, considering I saw your comments on one of the videos. So yeah, I have now gone to, I don't want to hear from you, so I'm going to block you. But I'm still not going out and flagging them like mundane Boulder Matt. And that would be wrong, and I should be called out on shit like that if I was engaging in it, right? I think you would make a video like this about me if I did it to you, is what I'm saying. And we've known each other
if you blocked me from Twitter, if you blocked me from it, sorry, let me rephrase that because that's a particular wording. If you actually reported me to Twitter and like got me suspended, then yes, it doesn't matter who the person was that did the blocking. I would have done a video on it if you were advocating for freedom of speech. Now, if she didn't advocate for freedom of speech, what would be the point of me doing a video? She doesn't have the principle there for me to prove that she's wrong and hypocritical. So because she did that was the reason why I did the video.
Yeah, absolutely. And Tema wanted to talk about your video you released today. I didn't have the pleasure of seeing it yet because I was up late and I fucking slept in. So go ahead, Tema. And I'll be right back, guys. I'm going to step away and use the restroom.
Sure.
It was the video itself kind of floored me. Truth be told, I was shocked at such blatant racism and rewriting of all of history.
Pretty much. And I'm not even fucking American, and I was able to work that shit out.
Fuck me, dude. But it was. I noticed it wasn't just like they did the unpersoning of white people in that thing, right? The white men, you're not real people kind of deal. But there was like this instant depersoning of everybody that doesn't agree with them, simply with the way they created the format for the videos. It was this bizarre. I didn't know if you noticed it at all, because it was sort of if you're not looking for it, you're not going to notice it. But the entire video is based on the presumption that if you're not black, you have no idea what it's like to be human.
Kind of. I kind of felt that they're more trying to person themselves as being that if you're not black, you can't understand our troubles and triumphs. And if you can't understand them, then why the fuck are you talking about them? You shouldn't be talking about them. That's what I got from the situation with the video, or the setup of it personally. I did get it, though, as a form of othering. Everything was directed to white, cisgendered, straight men. And it's just, why so specific? If you're trying to specifically narrow down a group, why is it every white man? Why is it every white, cisgendered white man? Why isn't it white people in general? Or why isn't it rich white people, if you wanted to get pedantic and go into intersectionality? Why isn't it them? Why are you just laboring a point on generalization? And I kind of pointed it out at the beginning that the definition of just putting it out to a specific group was the definition of racism.
Yeah, I agree. I heard that part in the beginning. I was just fascinated by the whole concept, because you did point it out once, but the entire diatribe, it was directed specifically at straight white men, which is ominous in and of itself, because you're telling the people that make more people they shouldn't make more people and act in the way that lets them make more people. It was very misanthropic in its nature. Was this like only one video, or is this something these people do on the regular? Do they have a channel of this stuff?
I'm not giving away my sources.
Because that was incredible. Like I don't know if I could watch a whole video, and I know I couldn't do a response without losing my voice.
I didn't lose my voice, so to speak, but some of the video, especially a bit about, I know it's a bit of a touchy subject on this type of a channel and my type of channel as well for the people that watch, but on the issue of transgenderism and transgender people in general, with the issues of suicide that cropped up, it really pissed me off. Because they're trying to equate that everything that happens to transgender people is because they're black or because they're othered by white cis men. And all of the forced narrative that they were pushing were literally lies, lies after lies. Now, don't get me wrong, the first part when they said that transgender people are 5 times more likely to commit suicide, yeah, that's perfectly fine and acceptable. That is true. But the reasoning behind it, that's false. It wasn't due because people were othering them. It's not due to people bullying them or anything else like that.
No, it's because they're mentally ill.
Yes, exactly that, which actually stems to having more medical and mental health issues, i.e. depression and other particular symptoms that actually cause more links to suicide than what they were actually suggesting. And this is all proven by California State and Georgia State, which actually did independent studies in the medical journal to be able to prove this. But yet they didn't want to cite any of that. They wanted to cite an NPR report that had anecdotal fucking evidence about, I feel that other people are being victimized. That was their source.
Yeah, well, no, and common sense guy, it's like something like this. Okay, suicide rates among veterans are a lot higher than amongst just everybody else. Therefore, serving in the military causes suicide. Therefore, we should now eliminate our entire branches of the military because it's a detriment to our society on a whole because it's creating mental health issues. You see, I took a real fact and I fucking laid a level of bullshit all over it. Right? That's pretty much what they did.
Oh, they did it even worse. They tried to even skewer facts from the Trevor Report. And if anybody knows what the Trevor Report is, something that's based in America that basically deals with transgender issues and suicidal thoughts. And they do all the statistics for it. They're actually pretty good at the statistics. They don't skewer them either. Where one of the statistics in the video that I quoted and that they quoted was 92% of transgender people try to commit suicide. That the actual quote was that out of 40% of people that Trevor Report asked, 92% of that 40% tried to commit suicide before the age of 25.
Oh.
So it's really only about
That's
20%.
a big difference.
Little bit. Just a little bit.
Wow. Yeah, I was noticing a couple of other things like that. Well, white man, this civilization you created is this. And it's like, last I checked, we have algebra, which came from not white people.
You come from the Islamics, to be precise, and the Greeks.
Yeah, I was gonna say we have explosives, which come from not white
China.
people. Yeah,
we have forks. That come
we have the banjo, which is like the whitest instrument ever, that comes from fucking Africa.
Exactly.
Well, no, okay. Here's the thing. There's a video. When you shared that video, Common Sense Guy, and I apologize for the background noise, guys. When you posted that video, right? I was watching when you posted that a video by Reason Magazine and John Stossel about a Asian man is suing Harvard to lift affirmative action completely because Asians are actually more discriminated against than even white people. And he actually is a Harvard graduate and a lawyer, so this might actually go through. What do you think about that? That's something that's really interesting and kind of on the same subject matter.
Well, I kind of addressed that in the actual video themselves, especially when they're saying about the civilization argument. It kind of stems into that because they really think that white people have built civilizations all over the world. Now, don't get me wrong, the westernized world is quite a big, diverse place, but it's still not as big as China. It's still not as big as the Middle East that's included into that. It's still not as big as the whole of South America. It's still not as big as the whole of Africa. Now, don't get me wrong, not all of them are great civilizations, but they are civilizations that have been built up by predecessors and ancestors of them. Does that mean that they can't build civilizations themselves?
Sorry. I have to correct you here. Who the fuck is chewing in the microphone?
Sorry.
Probably the person driving.
Mute yourself. Yeah, the British Commonwealth is actually too.
Go ahead, Kevin. Sorry, I was going to say,
but there's but I don't understand how that relates to chewing. But never mind. 2.2 billion people, 2.4 billion people in the British Commonwealth, mate. 53 countries.
That's not what I was
Bigger
trying
than
to say or
China.
suggest. I'm not
Well,
trying to.
yeah, but you're saying that it's nothing's bigger than China. You know,
I didn't say nothing's bigger than
South
China.
American countries.
Oh, Jesus, no, we're talking
It's a
about
Western
women using
civilization.
breastfeeding, Gabby. If you didn't listen to the whole conversation, why are you coming in and interrupting it?
No,
I didn't say that China was
reality.
the best. I didn't say China was the best civilization. I didn't say it was the biggest civilization. I was merely pointing out, due to the video that we were talking about, which was unfortunately mine, which is why I'm here, is that people were trying to say that the white people in America were the only people to ever create societies. And I was pointing out, as I did in the video, as I did here, that the societies are actually created all over the world that are completely different. And if you add up all the other societies that are not Europe, that are not Australia, that are not America, and not Canada, they're actually equate to more landmass than anywhere else in the world. That's all I was stating. Was it saying that they were better?
Like in terms of, no, well, no, I understand that because I did see the video. And I didn't know what you were talking about. And that's the reason I was just saying that, is that in terms of civilizations and things, which are not beyond just, you know, Europe and North America. I mean, Britain established that whole, you know, the empire that then became the British Commonwealth, and that's 2.4 billion people, and it covers an enormous portion of the earth.
Yeah, but they already have their own
I'm not sure landmass is a good... Well, no, but I mean, landmass...
You're kind of just nitpicking for nitpicking's sake.
Canada is fucking massive.
So's America, but it's still
Canada
nothing.
and Australia. Canada is the second largest.
Okay, that doesn't fucking matter. We're just talking about where things have originated from. We were talking about evolution, or the evolution of cultures and societies, and how these black people were fucking wrong.
Yes, and hello. That's what I'm pointing out as well. I'm pointing out that actually, you know, the British Empire and all of the other stuff, which has, you know, gone out and ventured out and helped these people create their civilization.
But the thing is, though, when you're talking about the British Empire, you're also talking about places like India, where they already had a long-standing culture and long-standing civilization. I mean, you can't necessarily take the credit for it. Yeah, you can't take credit for it.
Well, no, we take credit for the civilization of it because it was just tribal.
No, it was not. India was not a bunch of
There was no cohesion.
It wasn't tribal.
There was no cohesion. There was a bunch of mullahs and, you know, maharajas that were running things. It was very tribal.
I don't know. I'm going to agree to disagree on this one because I think we're going to get burnt out on the minutia of it. But I
just talking about comparability, that there were other civilizations and that the people in the video were fucking wrong.
Yeah, and I agree. And that's what I was saying. If only you'd listen. You're disagreeing for the sake of
it's almost like the way you're agreeing, though, is wrong, so we have to argue with it.
It's fine.
It sounds like he wants to fight. So, but
it's fine. Let's just move on.
No, I don't. I tell you, I'm agreeing with you. You're the ones who want to find a reason as to why I'm not agreeing with you. I don't understand why. Very odd.
That's why I said
anyway,
let's
carry on, regardless.
Okay, my other question was, how often do you come across these videos? Is this a common race baiting video you come across? Because I tend to try to work in the field of politics, where there's something to actually discuss, rather than the banality and the inane mendacity of identity politics.
I don't really go looking for race baiting videos, but there's just a couple of the channels that I follow on purpose because of this type of stuff. And sometimes you just want to break the monotony of just politics in general, and you just want to have a fucking laugh at people. And sometimes, like on that video, you just have to call out their blatant racism, and it needs to be pointed out that people actually think that way, and actually posting videos and are actually getting likes and actual people saying, yeah, this is completely right, this is completely what I think's happening. And that is just breeding more and more racism, regardless of what race it is.
Yes. I was just wondering if you're seeing a frequency or anything like that for these types of videos. Personally, I think I'm seeing a decrease in them. A lot of the bedroom feminists that did the other half of the identity politics stuff, the identitarianism stuff, they seem to have died out. Are you seeing this is maybe a trend of new bedroom retards?
No, definitely not. No, this is definitely not a new trend. if you do any sort of search for a Nation of Islam, for instance, or if you do any sort of search for black nationalists, you will get stuff like this. I'm giving away my trade.
Hey, well, MADDS, remember that guy that we were in? He wanted to turn Mississippi into a black ethno state.
Reality's temples on Earth, or as some people call him, Angel Stubbsnub.
Yeah, which I unsubscribed from him. Is he still going strong?
Well, I don't know about going strong, but he's
can't keep a good retard down, mate.
I don't know. He's definitely going a little bit over the top, but I think that he's actually got some political will behind him. He's got quite a lot of followers from the Nation of Islam following him, and you have to remember the demographic and the reason why he chose Mississippi as well.
You gotta remember the reason why I said it was a horrible idea. Also,
yeah. Anyway, I don't think the indigenous population is going to be too welcoming.
It depends. I mean, personally, I don't really give a shit. It's up to him what he wants to try and do. I mean, he doesn't even live there, but he's still going to be pushing the narrative for it and trying to push that agenda. I got an invite to talk about it about 2-3 weeks ago. Because believe it or not, even with all this shit that me and Angel Stubbsnub had and all the debates and everything, apparently we're still friends.
Oh, cool.
Oh, I don't get invites. I'm sad now.
Well, it takes all sorts.
Yeah, apparently I treated him with respect, so he treats me with respect, apparently, so whatever.
Yeah, well, I would have been golden until my British friend came in. By the way, that was great. Brilliant, buddy. But...
Oh dear.
Oh, sorry.
Well, no, I was just asking, are you guys seeing, because I'm trying to figure out what the next stupid series of responses we're going to see coming out is. And I was wondering if it's going to be race baiting or if it's just going to be fuck white people is going to be the next
it's going to be fuck white people, and it's going to be coming from the Nation of Islam, and it's going to be coming from Farrakhan followers. And that has nothing to do with fucking what Sargon has basically said before. It's because he is the leader of the Nation of Islam at the moment, and I've noticed a massive trend of channels that have got over 100 and something thousand subscribers just talking about the Nation of Islam and fuck white people.
Great.
Wow.
So
I should scrap my whole channel and just have Penoid as the host. I write the script, and we can do a Nation of Islam series. It'll be great.
Called Jews Termites?
I don't know.
Fuck, dude.
But we could be fair, famous until they find out it's two white boys. Then they're going to be pissed.
Then you'll be really internet famous.
Yeah, like Clayton Bigsby.
Super internet famous.
To be fair, there was a channel that I used to subscribe to called Brother Ben X, and all he used to do was parrot Farrakhan sort of what do you call them? Speaking events and whatnot, lectures.
Talking points.
Yeah. And he just kept on used to doing that. And every now and again, he would do a show where he would be driving around and talking about what's going on in his community. And most of it would be, well, you need to talk about this, you need to talk about that. And he got up to over 124,000 subscribers. But his YouTube channel got deleted by YouTube.
Well,
can't think why.
Yeah.
Well,
one dies, two pop up. So they just reproduce. It's like the fucking Hydra.
No, I completely not agree with that. But that's definitely going to be the next main trend. Nation of Islam. Though there is another trend that's coming up as well, which is a sort of I can't remember the exact thing. It's not Zulu, but it's spelt almost exactly the same. But it is not Zulu, but it's spelt almost the same. And they're from Nigeria, and they're talking a lot about race baiting. Again, giving away too many secrets.
Gay Koreans.
Fuck me, dude.
Yeah, I have a lot of time on my hands, and I get to see a lot of shit that I really don't like.
It sucks too. Like, some people just have the talent, because I went just searching through YouTube trying to find something to make a response video out of, and I had hardly any luck at all. You guys just stumble upon this shit. I'm jealous.
Oh, I don't stumble across it, my friend. There's a pattern that you have to go through.
Well, it's just a search. Yeah, the search criteria. You can find anything you want.
Well, I'll
Seek
give
and
you
you
a quick,
shall find.
well, I'll give you a quick hint on how to do it. Say, for instance, you find an old video that's got some sort of thing that you dislike. Look at the linked channels and go through them.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Because I don't like. I want to stick to the information that's written, because these videos, people just get so fucking stupid. But it looks like even written stuff is going the way of YouTube idiocy, where people are just getting stupid. Excuse me. It was
Well,
like,
of course it is. I mean, Tema, you remember the professors who made an absolute arse of, they're getting those peer-reviewed studies that they've made up, like,
the grievance
dogs
studies.
are rapism.
Those motherfuckers were hilarious.
That was brilliant.
Yeah.
Hat tip.
But that really demonstrated.
They did the same thing with the doing one of those. They did one of those things with global warming too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
And you had the Yes Man as well. That was
there was a global warming video I thought about going after, but it was like 4 years old. I'm like, this is old news. I left it alone. That's where, like, a lot of the good stuff is really old, and I don't think it's really something anyone's gonna watch. So I passed it by.
Well, I won't tell you where I've got it from, but I've got a video that I'm going to be responding to either this week or next week, and it's, are Trump supporters as really as bad as what people think they are? And let's just say she doesn't hold back.
And I don't want to go for the normal, like, I went on Steve Shive's channel. There was a couple of Star Trek videos I could argue with him about, but that's not funny. So I left that alone. And then I went to BuzzFeed for all of 10 seconds, and I'm like, no, this is where everybody else goes. No BuzzFeed.
Yeah, I do Vox.
I really just moved away from the whole
exactly.
anti-SJW thing in 2018. Like, it just got boring. Like, it got to the point where everybody was just saying the same shit.
Yeah.
Okay, we're all going to debunk this person, and we're all going to, like, everybody who has a fucking brain knows that the wage gap is bullshit. And it's just hearing, 10 videos a week where you hear some fucking dumbass woman say, well, the wage gap is real. Then a 20-minute video say, well, it's not real if you look at this and this and this. It's like, we all fucking have this information. Just move on. It's getting boring at this point.
The sad part, though, is that there's always new people coming up. All right. And that if you
I hope that they have the same fucking enjoyment that I got out of it when I first started watching.
Yeah. I mean, and that's kind of what's happening with it. But it's not going to stop. The SJWs won't stop. You have to understand.
No, but Generation Z is going to be interesting as to, because
at least in the UK.
Normally it's meant to be the parents disappointed with the child, but now it's the child disappointed with the parents. It's like, really, this is
I can absolutely attest to that. I know quite a lot of parents that have got children that are around about 5 to 6 years old due to my age, lovely age, and most of them, as in Generation Z, seem to be exceedingly conservative, and to probably put my own conservatism to shame.
But they're definitely much more free speech and anti-identitarian. That's for sure.
Absolutely.
Much more pro-Second Amendment, too, which makes me proud.
Yeah, me too.
Well, wait, I have a little bit of umbrage with that, Tema. You think they're anti-identitarian? Because it seems to be everything is identity politics now. Everything
You'd
be surprised.
Has been identity politics.
Which is why youth is anti-identity.
Yeah, but that's not Generation Z.
Yeah, it is.
Well, just think about it for a second. The thing is with youth is that youth will always rebel against the status quo. Now, if the status quo is identity politics, what the fuck are they going to rebel against? Guess what it is?
Identity politics.
Wait, so are you telling me there's a whole generation of libertarians just waiting to be scooped up here?
Libertarians,
I wouldn't be proud of that fact, because one of the problems with libertarians is the same problem with leftists, and that is they emote rather than actually think.
That's bullshit.
Okay, that's why there's hours of fucking, or the pages upon pages upon pages of minutia debates on reason, because they're so into.
You do realize you're proving his point.
Well, no, these people go in and they start fighting and arguing the finer points of
That's
the
better.
they're discussing with no emotion. These people, there will be you'll go read an article on Reason, and the response list will be 18 times longer because you'll have 6 people arguing the finer points of whatever details are put up in the article.
Well, yeah, no, and I'm more of a Mises Institute type guy. I definitely, if it's Cato or Mises, I'm going with Mises every time. Fuck Cato.
No, I'm ready.
But the thing is, though, like, we're mostly accused of being too logical and having no feels, and MC is going the exact opposite with his argument. Is this really how the left and right see the libertarians?
Yes.
Like,
Okay, you know,
this is irritating.
the only way that I will ever compare libertarians to leftists is that a lot of you motherfuckers are smug. That is it. That is the only thing. And look, when you have all the facts, there's nothing wrong with being a little bit smug about it. But I cannot tell you how many times I've talked to libertarians and they just act like they know more than you and that they're better than you, and it pisses me the fuck off.
Yeah,
but that's not every libertarian, but that is honestly the only way that I will compare the left and libertarians, is that you all are some smug motherfuckers sometimes.
No, that's a good point. Like, we're like, oh, well, next time we talk, here's the reading list.
Exactly. And it's like, dude, fuck you.
Yeah.
Well, I come from a slightly different viewpoint with that. My problem with the libertarians is where your politics lie, especially when you're dealing with foreign policy, is strictly based initially on emotion, and then you come back and go, you assume, or it seems that they assume that that's good enough. There's no logic necessarily discussed behind it.
I don't think there's any logic to the Iraq War to begin with.
And there it goes. You don't think that there's any reason to even talk about the issue, so you avoid actually discussing it. All right, and this becomes the problem.
What exactly is 5,000 troops in Iraq really going to do? Why do we necessarily need them there? 5,000, really?
We're talking about where we're at now, but that has nothing to do.
Well, why aren't we
that
talking
has
about
nothing to do with the Iraq War. If you want to discuss the history of the Iraq War, then discuss
let's discuss the history of the Iraq War. First off,
do we have to?
Facts. First off, facts. Show me some weapons of mass destruction.
Right. I'll show you people that are in Walter Reed that have been diagnosed with being hit with chemical weapons, but apparently that's not good enough for you. All right, and what's more is weapons of mass destruction was one of 6 or 7 reasons we went to war.
Okay,
and you never want to talk about.
You have to keep changing the reasons.
What was that?
You keep changing the reasons.
No, they have to keep changing the reasons. Yeah, they have to keep changing it because each time it's like, well, that doesn't make any sense. Yeah, but it wasn't about that. Now it's about regime change.
You say that they're changing the reason, yet if you go back, Cabbage, shut up.
No, it's exactly what happened. Now you shut the fuck up.
Right now, if you
I haven't said a fucking word, right?
During that time frame, they were listing a series of reasons.
Piss off.
No. It's the same thing. You don't want to hear it.
They brought them out one at a time as they were dismissed.
You want to talk about
only one thing. By the way, the people. By the way, the shit in the Walter Reed Hospital. No, it's not the only thing. It's got fuck all. No, because you don't even want to fucking listen to anything. So shut up and actually listen and take the cheese out of your ears. Right? The Walter Reed Hospital thing, too, was not just about the idea that they might have been hit by chemical weapons by the Iraqis. A lot of that could have been because of the kind of injections they were getting to defend them against potential chemical weapons.
It had nothing to do
with really? Well, there seems to be a lot of studies.
Now you're coming up with an excuse to pull it out of your ass.
No, I'm not. I'm saying that that's exactly what the studies were pointing out at the time when they were investigating as to why so many soldiers were coming back with it. They called it Gulf War syndrome, for fuck's sake.
Cabbage, the people that were hit with chemical weapons.
Okay, look, government don't do nothing wrong.
I don't know what happened to me. I feel sick all the time. That's not what we're talking about, you dumbass. And you keep trying to
Gulf War syndrome.
It's Gulf War syndrome.
No, I'm not trying to conflate the two.
Hey, real quick.
Well, you didn't say what you were talking about. At least I spent. Well, you didn't fucking specify what you're talking about. You're just talking about a fucking hospital. Specify if you want to fucking say something, then.
If you want
to fucking go mental.
Go ahead.
MC, let me make a point here, dude. Let me make a point here. All right. Your whole you started this.
Yep.
By saying that libertarians are too emotional.
Yeah.
You're the one who freaked the fuck out and he said, "Hey,
as soon as I
there's
start
no
to
reason
say
for us
that
to be over there."
You're correct. But as soon as I start to say, and as soon as I started to say that there were a lot of other reasons, what happened?
He got a fucking period.
Okay,
Excuse
real quick. No,
What happened?
Period.
everybody calm down.
You did.
Real quick.
Girl,
Real quick.
He started menstruating.
Hey,
Oh, shut up, Cabbage. You're nothing but a freaking small-minded little bitter pill.
Hey.
Oh, yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you for the demeaning. I can do the same to you.
This is why there's a new format, people. Okay, now, calm down. Updated April 6th, 2017. Yes, it's the Huffington Post. I get it. Whatever. At least Trump got one thing right. There were no weapons of mass destruction in Iraq.
Yeah, and there's a Washington and there's a New York Times article in 2013, look it up, that sit up there and talks about how they themselves, okay, all right, yes, there were chemical weapons. Furthermore, there's National Review articles which discuss the fact that the Bush administration had asked the New York Times not to report on incidents of certain soldiers that had been hit with chemical weapons. But you guys ignore all of that evidence and say, well, there were none. But what's worse is it always comes back to the same thing.
Well.
Hold on. I'm not done yet, Cabbage. Which is every time you guys talk about this, it's only chemical weapons, as if that was the only thing and the only reason that we went into the war with Iraq. You ignore the 5 other reasons that we did it. And they were listed at the time. No. They were talked about. See, that's the point. No.
I'm not saying no. I'm listening to you. I want to know the list. Tell me the list.
1, they were shooting at our planes in the no-fly zone. No, Cabbage?
They were doing that.
Why do we have a no-fly zone?
It doesn't matter. You're talking. This goes back to the history of things.
It does matter. Why do we have a no-fly zone over?
There were 17 resolutions, UN resolutions that have been coming back. Bollocks. See, you can't talk to people like this.
Well, no, real quick though. If you don't like the UN, why do you care about UN resolutions?
They
real
were
quick, Dodge. Why don't we let him list it and then we can ask all the questions, because this is obviously something he's passionate about. So let's let him get it out, and then we can ask all the questions that we want. Is that fair?
Yeah, gotcha.
2, we were saying that they were hiding terrorists. All right. 3, you said that they were training terrorists.
They were.
Yes, they were.
That's why I said
she was confirming that.
Oh,
Carry on.
I'm sorry, I couldn't. I misunderstood. Right? There were okay. It wasn't just that. Then we were talking about their rocket programs. All right. It wasn't just the quote unquote weapons of mass destruction, and additionally we refer to their hiding of a lot of their things, and we found their centrifuges because they did have the weapons program. They hadn't stopped it. They were hiding it. You guys,
is that your whole list, MC? Is that the whole list?
Well, we'll leave that as the list for right now. Yeah, that's pretty much
okay. Then let me dig into this. Okay, first off. Why
the fuck am I the voice of reason?
I did pull up
because you're driving.
I did pull up an article, but you won't let me read it, so fuck it. I don't care. Okay, so you want to say I have no facts? I did look up something to show some facts about the WMDs, but we'll move on from that.
Pulled up an opinion piece by HuffPo.
You didn't even let me start talking about it. How do you know?
It's an opinion piece by HuffPo in 2017 that starts off with, well, they were right about one. Trump was right about one thing. There were no WMDs in Iraq.
Yeah, and that's the only sentence you let me read. But thank you for reiterating it. They're all opinion
one that has facts in it.
Can I? Okay, calm down. Now, why exactly is it okay to put a no-fly zone over a sovereign country?
Because we were at war with that country earlier.
We were at war.
It had been established.
Earlier. Are we
it doesn't matter. That wasn't.
Whoa.
It has the history of us being there. All right. So, there is manifold in everything else. We were there in a no-fly zone that they were sitting up there shooting at our planes. Your excuse is well, that's not an excuse for going to war with them because we shouldn't have been over there anyway. Right?
That's right.
we were already, whether we should have been there or not, by that time is immaterial because we are there.
Well, no, here's the thing. Okay. We've been at war in many countries in the past. After the war ends, so does the embargoes, the blockades, the no-fly zones. You know, the war is over.
Have you examined what the war was like after the war?
When did the
Hold
first
on a
Gulf
second.
War end?
Let's talk about when did the World War
92,
II,
I believe.
World War II end?
Yeah, and we're still in Germany, and I'm pissed about that. Anyway, what?
Whoa. So you but it's okay to not talk about that?
Do we have no-fly zones? Do we have no-fly zones over Germany?
We had a lot of things initially.
Yeah,
we had a lot of
idea.
Cold War.
It
would be a good idea.
Well,
okay, but we aren't initially phased anymore, are we? We've been in Iraq since I was 12. Okay. I'm fucking 41. It's been almost 30 years. I think we're past the honeymoon phase now, aren't we, MC?
No, we were not in Iraq in when you were 12. We went to Iraq in 2005.
We do well. She's talking the First Gulf War, but anyway, there's a question from the chat, and I'm going to let whoever hits the buzzer first gets to answer this question. Mad Dog, this is from Nationalist Yorkshireman. Mad Dodge, I have a question. So, what if they did have weapons? It's not like they were a threat to the United States. So, what if they did? So, what?
They did have weapons.
No, we know they had weapons. The point was of mass destruction. And by the way, yes, they
did. Chemical weapons are classified as weapons.
Yes. Well, we had those, and we knew about those because they've been supplied. Now, there are certain times where, and the same things happened in Syria, where the bombings have potentially hit caches of chemical components, right? So, I mean, if you go and blow up a cache of sarin, then don't be too fucking surprised if the wind's blowing the wrong way that you end up with a face full of it.
Well, fine.
That's how it's going to work, right?
The question was,
that's not them releasing it. Yeah, but that's not them releasing it. That's not them using it on you. That's just you.
The question was, if they had them, who gives a fuck if they're not messing with us?
But they were.
That's what I mean.
That's the thing. The Iraqi.
Here's the thing with me on that. I don't like the idea of any country that has a fucking large centers for training terrorists to have anything like that. So I do think we should have went in there and fucking took it.
Okay, fair enough.
Remember, one man's terrorist is another man's freedom fighter.
Fuck off, Jeremy Corbyn.
I wasn't going to say that, but no, this actually has a little bit of facts here. A little bit of facts.
I was going for Owen Jones. Damn, I failed. I missed the mark.
This is the third paragraph in on the article. If you go to Google Images and try finding online pictures of U.S. reconnaissance and exploitation troops uncovering the much-hyped Iraqi WMDs, like killer drones that were said to be able to strike American mainland, or mobile weapons labs. There are none available.
There was a mobile weapons lab.
Real quick.
When they found it, it was completely...
One paragraph.
You're right, but here's the problem. You start with a paragraph that insists that they didn't exist, and yet they were found.
You're not letting me read who actually found out this information. It wasn't some geek on a Google search. Let me finish. All that was found by the United States. All that was found by the United States Army Joint Captured Material Exploitation Group teams, who were some. All that was found by the U.S. Army Joint Captured Material Exploitation Group teams were some old, corroded, unusable, demilitarized artillery shells rotting in the desert from the 80s.
Yep. That is not
far cry from the threatening chemical, biological, and even nuclear WMD program that was reportedly told by Bush, Cheney, Powell, Rice, and Rumsfeld.
And that is not the entire story. And this is part of the problem. Be quiet, Cabbage.
Hang on, MC. Oh no, you've been fucking saying everything. I barely said anything.
I finished the paragraph. Go ahead.
No, you stop being such a fucking whiny turd. Those other things that you were saying about the centrifuges, actually the aluminium tubes, which had been that they claimed were used for used in refinement. actually turned out to be totally the wrong, like the wrong specification. They were effectively just missile shells, or mortar shells, or whatever.
That
it was a completely wrong spec.
That is not the centrifuge.
So,
I talk about the ones that were buried.
No, they were the aluminium.
But they never found any yellow cake.
Yes, so they did.
I thought they didn't find yellow cake. They thought it was yellow cake, and it turned out to be something else.
They didn't find any.
I wasn't invited.
Hold on, they didn't find any extra, but they had plenty of yellow cake still in storage in Iraq.
Okay, so they weren't actually producing anything, is what we're saying.
They were not producing. They were not producing it.
So they didn't have any. They weren't doing what the media was accusing them of doing at the time, because the media was saying that they were making the weapons, and we had to shut down the centrifuges that were making the material that they weren't making.
They said that they were hiding the centrifuges, which they were, and then they said that they were trying to get additional stores of yellow cake uranium, specifically from Nigeria.
From Nigeria. Yeah. Well, that was the what was that CIA woman who ended up being
that's her husband, who came over supposedly as a freaking UN expert on nuclear weapons, and he never had anything to do with it. And she sit up there and sent him to Nigeria. He then sit up there and, of course, started leaking classified information because it was a classified report to the press.
Can we all just take a time out and agree to fuck the UN? Seriously, just fuck those bastards.
I can agree with that.
That's a no-brainer. That's a no-brainer.
See, we have common ground, people.
Anytime you see a blue helmet heading towards you, run the other way.
Fucking A, those are the most dangerous, scary people on the fucking planet. Just ask the Congo.
Yeah, make sure you stick away from the white helmets as well. They're terrorists.
Yes, white helmets is very bad. Yeah, well, white helmets, no, you're not too bad. That means you're probably going to get, as long as you've got your Actors Guild, certificate, you'll be okay.
Yeah.
You're making.
I think I would trust a brown shirt over a blue helmet any day.
Fucking A. You said that Screen Actors Guild, and my brain goes to the Film Actors Guild from Team America. And I'm like, Matt Damon. Oh, fuck, my brain is puppet porn. Jesus. Okay.
I love that movie. It gave me my theme song.
Yeah. Yes. I like the dicks and assholes bit. That's really awesome.
There's another comment though that I want to address, right? And that goes back to that mobile lab. Okay, we did find that mobile lab. That mobile lab was a series of 3 trucks. Those trucks were scrubbed clean. Okay, and then they tried to use the excuse that, oh no, this is for mixing pesticides for farming. Right, but around there to mix it with those pesticides, lo and behold, are dual-use chemicals where they can be used for pesticides. That's true, but also for making sarin.
Yeah, okay, but dude, I can make fucking mustard gas with bleach and with Clorox and ammonia.
To make chlorine gas.
Oh, sorry, chlorine gas.
I reckon it was like it was the Iraqi version of Breaking Bad. They just stumbled across a meth lab in the middle of the desert.
The fucking Winnebagos out there. Baghdad.
Got some dude with glasses.
I am the one who pulls the curtain aside.
Oh my god! He runs out with the fucking head thing on and just his underwear, like freaking out.
That's where my brain went to. I was like, the cap with the ring around the top and just some tidy whities. I was all, fuck me, dude. No, my brain went there.
He didn't have the magic underwear.
He didn't have what?
Yeah.
The magic underwear.
Well, no, he's not Mormon. He's Muslim. He's...
God.
There's Yeti in a pair of tighty whities comes out of a fucking caravan.
I'm Mohammed Heisenberg.
Oh, real quick, hold on. Hi, Furry. She's in the chat. She said hi to me.
Oh, is Lysis in there? Hi, Lysis.
Yeah. Emma, you might be in trouble though, because your husband's in the chat, and you just admitted you were fantasizing about another man in his underwear.
Yeah. Well, no, my husband doesn't wear underwear, so there. Huh.
That is more information I needed to know about Carl, to be honest with you.
Well, then don't talk about my husband on street.
I don't want to be thinking about him hanging free.
Oh God, damn it, Gabby. All right. So we could do a final topic here before we go. Cabby, anything going on in the UK? It's 2019. You guys leave the fucking European Union yet?
Fuck off.
It's well, you know, it's a clusterfuck of all clusterfucks. Actually, no, it's been really quiet. They've been reporting on anything. I guess no news is good news, or everything's fucking waiting in the wind, and they don't want to tell us what's going on because it's so.
There is a little bit of news, Cabby.
What? There's another meeting.
No, there is a little bit of news. Everybody is now trying to say that Theresa May is trying to run down the clock so she can get a no-deal Brexit, so she can appear that nothing's ever happened. Yeah. Personally, I don't think she's fucking smart enough for that to begin with, and I think that she's just trying to push her own deal. But that's what the news is trying to say at the minute.
Yeah, well, exactly, that's it. If the news is saying it, then you know it's bollocks.
Well, it depends. There could be a double-edged sword in this. The EU could be pushing the news organisations to do this as a story to try and get people that are on Remain to go, well, no, we want this vote to be put through to ratify this vote.
Yes, and this is the whole point. But you can't have a vote. There's the vote. If the government
the meaningful
goes against...
vote, No. The meaningful vote on the deal.
Meaningful vote. Oh, the people.
Yes.
Vote.
Yeah. So I'll use their terminology. Their meaningful vote on the actual deal, rather than the actual having a second referendum. That's what they're trying to push, because once they actually push that through, and if they don't get it done, she's got fuck all, which means that then they can challenge her leadership for government again.
All they're going to do is fuck everything else. So the economy goes down the shitter. We're going to end up going back, cap in hand, between 5 and 10 years' time. We're going to have to rejoin as a new member, and we are going to have zero fucking influence, and we're going to have to lose our currency on the back of it. They are fucking it up on purpose, because they thought that they could ground it to begin with, right, and delay it and use delay tactics and everything else, and try and go for the second referendum. They know they can't get away with that now, because otherwise they effectively dismiss democracy in this country.
And everybody will ask for a third.
Quick question: did Dodge just bow out?
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
We might be losing our stream, guys.
I think it was 5 minutes, right?
Yeah, it's like 5 minutes. So if we go, we go.
Yeah, but he bowed out, but he didn't.
Well, if he doesn't come back, then the stream will die.
It'll go offline anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's they can't not have the vote, so therefore they've got to. Sorry, they can't have the vote, so therefore they have to do everything they can to ensure that whatever happens after the decision is an absolute clusterfuck. To make sure that we end up in such financial fucking upheaval,
but will that
we end up going back begging?
Will that really
happen? There's no need for that to happen. There's no need for it to happen, but that's what they seem to be intent on doing. I mean, they're managing to. I mean,
clearly
our government is not working on the best, for the best intentions of the country.
It depends on what your interpretation is. Depends on what your interpretation
not really.
is, because
that's true.
It does. Good. It does, because
everything she hasn't done is good.
No, not necessarily. But what I was trying to say was that if she does somehow manage to pull off a no-deal situation, the thing is, it's not a no-deal situation. As a case of being on World Trade Organization rules deal, which means that 80% of the world still trade on that, which isn't a bad thing. Our tariffs in certain instances will only go up by 12% at the highest.
Yeah. No, I understand what a break. I mean, this is meant to be a cliff edge, right? That they kept going on about, oh my God, we're going to go to the cliff edge because we're going to end up having to deal with WTO. But it doesn't matter. Fine. We can do WTO. But why hasn't the government been working with all of our, Commonwealth alliances, with talking to America? I mean, Trump was very open to doing decent business deals.
You know as well as I do the reason why they can't do it. You know as well as I do the reason why they can't do it. The EU already put stipulations in that until we get.
Yeah, but who gives a shit? Yeah, but I'm sorry. Well, we've already told them we're leaving.
I agree.
We don't need to comply with their fucking requirements. They're requirements. They are not commandments.
I agree.
So they say,
if nothing else happens at all, what happens in like 4 months? Because isn't it like March or April?
World Trade Organization rules. Nothing. Yeah. If nothing happens, then we get World Trade Organization rules.
Yeah, you guys leave, and I thought there were already prearranged contracts between the UK and many of these, or just companies had contracts and stuff.
No. That's the point. No, our own government just fucking kowtowed to the European Union and said, well, we won't do any deals while we're negotiating, which is the most
So they've said.
Well, that's just
so they've said.
That's just unwise.
I personally don't see that as actually being factually true, because
I hope they were lying. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, they're conservative. They're known for that. And that's nothing to do with partisan politics, because I'm more of a conservative-leaning person. But let's be honest, when the Conservatives are in power and it comes to talking about trade and everything else like that, they generally lie about what they're doing. So when you have people that are coming out from...
Yeah, but...
You do realize what you're saying, CSG. You're saying, well, the only help for Brexit is that the Tories are a bunch of liars.
Yes.
That's a terrible thing to have to say.
Well, I can't help it if the Tory party at this moment in time is basically a Labour Party in disguise.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Theresa May, come on. I mean, what the fucking hell is that thing anyway? I'm not even sure it's human. Honestly, at this point.
I'm not even sure it's human.
Well, she does dance like a robot. She might have been the first intermission of the sex robot.
Yeah, that was...
Oh my god, if that's a sex robot, I'm definitely going fucking...
So, National Yorkshire,
I'm going to get muted.
Please save us.
You're the only leftist here, Memes. You're going to have to save us yourself.
Yeah.
No, that's a lot of saving.
Yeah, what they've done is it's basically treason at this point.
Yeah, that I agree with.
Treason, mate.
That I completely agree with. I agree with that wholeheartedly. The whole government setup has become treasonous, whether it's Conservative, Labour, Lib Dems, anybody.